High5.
Once a year at Brienne-le-Château in France, skydivers from all over Europe and even some from the States drop in on an airfield for an event which has become known as the Woodstock of skydiving, Espace Boogie.
And tomorrow, free skydive for everybody! Yay!
The idea of a boogie is to get away from the competition aspect of the sport and instead just have fun. It's a chance for skydivers to do their own thing. For the majority, this means forming group dives in a kind of big communal free-fall. Experienced skydivers like Patrick Pass and Fritz Levis are on hand to make sure it all runs smoothly.
We have a good time at free fall and we have a good time on the ground. So the secret is we have time for work and we have a time off to do a party, and that's boogie.
But tucked away in a small tent in the corner of the site are a group of skydivers who are into something quite different.
You have different sizes, it depends what you want to do.
So I'm looking for new things to do, new adventures.
Your mortgage payment can't reach you, your lawyer can't phone you up.
Because it's great and because it's wild. I like that.
These are the innovators of the sport, the French skydivers who are taking freefall into a new dimension.
It's just so beautiful outside. Yeah, outside. So open up those blinds and take a look outside into the sunshine. Into the sunshine.
Some of these new things that have been developed, a lot of people want to put rules on them, make competitions of them, and do the same thing that is happened to the static part of the sport. The actual true freestylists and true sky surfers and so on are people that are just more creative. They just want to do it because it's fun and because it's great and because it's wild and because it's great and because it's fun and because it's wild, and they get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
That's what I say, because I'm coming for you.
Now there's a whole bunch of new things to do in the sky, and one of those is riding a tapis volant, a flying carpet.
But difficulty is that to stay stand up on this board, you have to stretch it. It's not like on a hard one where it's already stretched, like a board. But then with a flying carpet, you need to stretch it very well to stay stable on it.
How did you create the idea of flying carpet?
My kitchen, when I cut, comment on dit un poulet? A chicken. A chicken. Chicken. A chicken.
I like that.
Into the sunshine. Into the sunshine. Into the sunshine.
Chute assez is to free fall sitting down.
Meanwhile, back at the boogie, Fritz is getting his group together for their first dive of the day. The helicopter is the largest in the world and has been especially flown in from Russia. Its normal payload is cargo, but this week its task is to ferry plane loads of 130 skydivers to 15,000 feet and then drop them off.
What about the helicopter?
Fantastic. Just the best thing I've ever been out of. The exit's so wide, you can get lots of people in the same piece of sky at the same time, all jumping off. They get everybody out in one pass, and it's a lot smoother to come out of. It's great.
There is one other group of skydivers here at Brienne for the week, and this is the French CRW team, who are attempting to break the canopy formation world record.
What does CRW stand for?
Canopy relative work. Yeah, we open our chute immediately. That's the main difference. We use the material more than just the body to fly through the air. That's why I like it, actually. It's because we're pilots. We don't fall, we fly. One canopy is the reference, and we do figures, touching each other's canopies, catching lines, catching canopies, and then make plenty of figures, diamonds, snakes. They have plenty of names. We have to be at a certain place. It's not 30 centimeters above or 30 centimeters lower. We just have to be at the right place at the right moment with the right speed.
Their goal this week is to form a diamond in the sky made up of 42 chutes. The existing record stands at 37.
This is most disturbing.
And here's another way of using a helicopter.
Hey, she's back on the road again. She's taking time out for weekend friends. Down by the timber yard up to the boathouse. She's looking for a ride on the next spring tide. There's no two ways about this town. There's only one road out, and that's down. Hey, that's down on Railroad. Sailor man, get me off of this keychain with self-by rhymes. All these feet stuck to their city shoes. I got nothing to lose but my brown suede blues. There's no two ways about this town. There's only one road out, and that's down. Hey, that's down on Railroad. One-time highs, well, they don't have a stitch on second side. We're talking small town. Hey, she's on a beat at a time. There's no two ways about this town. There's only one road out, and that's down. That's down on the railroad.
Many sports have a freestyle side to them, and skydiving is no exception.
There is the freestyle 2, it's like gymnastic in free fall, and it's always a...
This guy is the reigning freestyle world champion. His name is Lucas, and he comes from Sweden.
Freestyle skydiving, it's totally creative and aesthetic. What I do is kind of a sky dancing with a little bit of acrobatic maneuvers in.
And the sensation that you get when you're doing it?
It feels like you're floating in a wind. And it's a very powerful wind, and you can deflect air with your legs and arms and torso. And you can produce very quick turns. It's a really solid feeling, freefall wind. It's not like, it doesn't feel like zero gravity, but it doesn't feel like you're falling either. I managed to make a living out of professional skydiving, but not much. And so recently I've decided to stop jumping professionally and pursue an income by other means. I'm looking for a job.
For the guys who want to jump all day, every day, the sport can be an expensive business. But once you're hooked, you'll find some way of paying for your next dive.
What are you? Are you a packer?
Yeah.
What exactly does a packer do? He packs parachutes for a living. Bums around different drop zones and earns a crust by packing parachutes. Is there quite a responsibility to packing chutes to make sure that obviously they're open up the right way? What most people want is obviously one that's going to open. Preferably open, facing the right way. I mean, how important is it to pack it the right way? Can you just smack it all together and it's going to be okay anyhow? Yeah, probably. Have you ever had one that hasn't opened on someone? Had one that didn't open on me about 3 days ago. It's fairly scary. It's a good adrenaline buzz. Bad day skydiving is better than a good day at work.
If you don't fancy packing chutes, there are other jobs which will keep you on the drop zone, like being a video cameraman.
Hello, my name's Sam, and this is where I live.
Are you what used to be known? Are you used to be what's known as? Are you called in the past a drop zone bum?
I suspect that would be a term that could be applied to the kind of person that I think I am. I used to be a salesman on the road back in England, and I got really, really bored with that, and I was enjoying skydiving more and more and more, so eventually I just decided to quit my job, and I went to the States and took up skydiving really as a full-time thing.
Norman Kent is respected as one of the world's best skydive cameramen. He's been in the sport for a long time, shot action sequences for Hollywood, and generally has his finger on the pulse when it comes to what's going on in the sport. Since marrying his freestyler wife, Diana, he's getting more and more into the new direction that skydiving is taking.
Because it's great, and because it's wild, and because it's great, and because it's fun, and because it's wild. And I do think that the sport had become a little static, a little stagnant. And I think that this is one of the reasons why freestyle and sky surfing and some of these things were developed. It's fun, and this also seems to attract the general public. They seem to relate to it more, and I like that. I like that a lot because it leaves room for creativity.
One of Norman's latest projects is getting into filming the new sport of sky surfing.
High5.
Sky surfing is the latest fad in the air. It's fun to do, but hard to master. The only way to get to grips with it is to get out there and give it a go. So what do skydivers do when they're not flying? Well, they play footbag, of course.
This is most disturbing.
Raise your voice, release the singer, trial by fire, Phoenix flies high. Soul of a child will ease the pain, her doctor sings of an emergency. Her doctor. No more nasty niceties. Her doctor. I'm breaking away from dependency. Her doctor. No more hypocrisy. Her doctor. Her doctor sings of emergency. It's up to you. it's up to me. The doctor sings of necessity to listen to your inner voice. The doctor sings of emergency to see the lights inside you. The doctor sings of necessity. The doctor sings of an emergency.
High5.